What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of I Am I. My name is Joshua Ansley, and it's interesting. I've been thinking about the vlogs a lot lately. I've just been talking, which and very seriously. There's not much comedy going on, and a lot of the earlier vlogs were, before the last 5 or 6 or so, were all like creative and interesting and shit. And some of the people, I guess, like that. I like that stuff, but a lot of the people have been telling me how much they like this stuff. So, and I don't know, I'm just letting it be what it is, because I don't have any fucking producer to answer to, except for myself and the big producer in the sky. So, and I felt like a lot of it, I don't know, a lot of it has been kind of, well, it is ego driven, right? Like I talk about, let me take a seat here. It's, been this journey of understanding who I am, which is my understanding of who I am is the ego. That's derived from the mind-body complex. And who we are is really something completely different than that. And doing all this work, there's always more and more that's revealed. And I always want the truth. I always wanted the truth. From a long time ago, I made that intention. Even if I wasn't actively pursuing it, or didn't know I wasn't actively pursuing it, or maybe I was actively pursuing it and didn't know I was actively, whatever. But there's so much humility that is coming, and it's fantastic. It's actually quite a nice release and a nice relief when you realize that you don't have to do everything. You're not supposed to know everything, and you don't have to know everything. And you don't have to do it alone. So I don't know. I wasn't sure what I wasn't even planning on doing the vlog right now, but I was just on a hike, and it's I feel kind of heavy. Just working through some things. That's how it rolls. So I want to talk a little bit about. I think there's a bug in my ear. Is there a bug in my ear, or it's sweat? If there is, I probably just killed him. Sorry, buddy. So maybe talk about expectations, right? That's a pretty huge concept, so I'll just go off a little bit. People think that it's okay to have expectations, and I understand that. There's a logical expectation of things in this world, and it's so strange to me because I try to proceed logically. It's very important to proceed logically, but ultimately what we're talking about is outside of the realm of logic. We can use logic to proceed there. We can use thinking. In the Vedantic philosophy, it even talks about, like, how could you use something that is of the world? Like, the philosophy is of the world. It's language, it's written, it's, learning, it's thoughts, it's all of the world. How can you use that to transcend? And it's equated to the lion in the dream, where the lion pounces on you and wakes you up, takes you out of the dream. And this philosophy, this work, wakes us up out of the dream, even though it's of this world. So we use the logic to transcend logic. It's kind of complicated, but don't think about it too much. That's the point. But we do think our way out of it. What? What are you saying? So anyway, there's logical expectations of something. You go to work and you expect to get your paycheck at the end of the week. But really, ultimately, what Karma Yoga talks about is we do the work and we divorce ourselves from the outcome. And I'm seeing this in my artistry, making a new record. And I'm like, what it really means to just do the work. Some of these vlogs, some people, I'm like, this vlog sucks. People are like, that's my favorite one ever. And I'm like, okay, what? I don't know. I'm just going to do the work and divorce myself from the outcome. So there are these logical expectations, and there's reasonable expectations, although I still believe that reasonable expectations will bring you reasonable suffering, because it's how you relate to the result of the expectations. So you can have expectations, you can expect something to be a certain way, but it's almost guaranteed that if you do have expectations, when those expectations are not met, then you will be discontented, right? So it's logical and reasonable to be upset, you would say, if you went to work and didn't get your paycheck, right? But it's still relying on something else. It's relying on an expectation to be met in order for you to be okay. See, the difference is, and people be like, well, that's ridiculous, so what, are you going to do nothing? And no, it's not about not doing anything. It's about the way you react to the situation that is at hand. And it's what you rely upon, expectations of other people and of circumstances to be a certain way in order for us to be okay. And, again, that's pretty extreme. You don't get your paycheck. Of course, who wouldn't be upset? I'm speaking ideally here. You really do the work of a self-realized person, yeah, it wouldn't even matter, But it's just a totally different concept than we can even comprehend. But really what I'm talking about is expectations of other people. And expecting other people to act a certain way in order for us to be okay. This gets into forgiveness and stuff like that too, which is, such a deep, deep thing for us to happen. Like, again, it's all about how we relate to the world. It's not the world that causes the suffering. So it's not the people in our lives. They are not the source of your problems. The drug addict in your life, the abusive person in your life, the shithead boss, the jerk-off husband or wife. None of these people are the sources of your problems. The problems are the way you're relating to those people, and the way you're relating to yourself, and the way you're relating to the world. I feel like I don't want to be saying you, I want to be saying I. Which is weird, because it's another thing that's funny to me that, people are like, the I is so ego-centered, right? So we want to absolve the I, ultimately. That's extreme, but, gouge the I. I'm thinking of a band name. I know I'm tangential here, but I was thinking I Am We for the band name. Feel free to leave your thoughts. I was also thinking gouge the I, but it's a bit extreme, I think. I, like the gouge the I, as in I am I. But I Am We is what I really like. Anyway, so, where the fuck am I? I have no idea. Maybe back to expectations. I know I'm skipping something of what I was just talking about. Getting rid of the I is like, I don't want to be saying you, because I don't want to be telling people what to do. And it's funny, because you go into the I and people think that's really egocentric, and it's actually like, well, actually I'm just trying to not make it about me, and that I know what I'm doing, so I keep it onto me and my experience, and here's what I need to do, instead of telling people what they need to do, as if I have any fucking clue what you need to do with your life. I can give you time. I mean, I'm sure I'm like, yeah, I can tell you a few things that you need to do. I'm like, doesn't matter. You have to discover it for yourself. I can help you do that, And that's what I want to do, is help you to do that through my experience. And through just sharing, the shit that I go through. So, expecting other people to be as I want them to be, it's also about control. If I have, I need everything to be as I need it to be. So I have expectations of something. And when those expectations are not met, then I'm not in control. And it's a loss of, it's a sense of powerlessness. So my control is expecting other people. I'm talking about, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, like, you don't know what the fuck, you don't know if they're fucking mother's in the hospital and they're rushing there. And even if it's most likely not, you have no idea what's going on with that person. And is all the shit that is bundled up to make who they are, And I'd get into that later, more in forgiveness and stuff. But like, it's just really the control of expecting the world to be exactly as I want it to be, so in order for me to be okay. So when you stop behaving exactly as I expect you to behave, and is a reasonable, societal accepted understanding of how we should behave, even maybe a lawful understanding of how we should behave, and the should, shit all over yourself, that if I stop having expectations of, it's a sick world. It's a sick world. And if I expect the sick world to behave exactly as I want them to behave, that's insanity. It's also taking my will and not trusting, the will of God or the will of that larger thing of nature, of the laws of it coming together exactly as it needs to come together in ways that you could never even, or I could never even fucking imagine how it ripples down 10 years from now on the way I behave in one single moment or the way someone else behaves, and has to happen. So anyway, my expectations is all about power and control and fear of it not being how I need it to be in order for me to be okay. Can I just fucking let go? Can I surrender into what is and accept what is and accept people for what they are and be there for them? So I be there for myself, and I be there through a higher connection to something deeper, a higher self and a higher power and God, whatever you want to call it, out here in nature, and connect back to that. We really have to be our own loving partner and our own loving parent, to take care of ourselves and just allow ourselves to be in the world exactly as it is. And then when we're unaffected by it, then we take change, or we take action if we want to affect change. If you see somebody who's like, I don't care. I don't care what people think about me. It's like, yeah, you do. I fucking care way too much what people think about me. It's fucking so dumb. I'm at this, walking through the trail in the park, and I'm like doing a little push up on the bar, or, this yoga, the fitness trail thing, and I'm like worried how, like, this is stupid. I don't need to do this. Like, what, and I'm like, just dumb shit. Like, I give a fuck about the dumbest fucking thing about what people think about me. And it's so much easier to not give a fuck and to be like, I don't know, and I'm a fool. I want to look as stupid as fucking possible, And stop have my expectations of me needing to be a certain way. Anyway, I don't know if this is even going to be a vlog or not, but I love you guys. In Lakesh Lakin, I am you. You are me. Namaste.